What is functional movement and why is that so important? Well, functional movement is the movement that when we see somebody on a sports field, on a tennis court, playing golf, dancing on stage, that's a fluid, easy movement. And what provides that easy, fluid movement is the fact that we are built in a structure that is circular. Here's a disc between the two bones in the spine. It has a circular shape. We have a circular shape within each of our pelvis bones. We have a circular base of our skull. You can have it spin around there. How that circular motion is created is by the movement of our muscles. And in terms of recovering from things that have created imbalances in our body movements, we need to reinforce that. The movement should not be linear like the bending of a book in the kind of exercises like sit-ups. It's fine to get strength by doing some linear movements, but then you've got to put them together in a functional pattern. And the functional pattern means a more holistic approach to helping people train themselves to hold their body in a smooth movement from bottom to top. One of the things that have discovered in the last few years is how valuable the Master Moves core training program is for people because, number one, it's simple. Number two, it doesn't require much equipment. And number three, regardless of whether you love your sports or your activities, it helps to cross-train, as we call it in the therapy world. And cross-training with the rotation motion that you can achieve on a disc like this helps us develop both balance, helps us develop core strength, where we tie the muscles that connect our pelvis with our rib cage and our rib cage with our shoulder blades up to our head, so that in the end there's a balance. How many of us spend a lot of time driving or sitting where we tend to be using one side of our body more than the other? How many of us forget how that impacts on our body after 10, 20 years of constantly emphasizing one part of the body's movement and not the other? It's been very satisfying for me as a therapist to be able to send somebody home with explanation, because the explanations do come in the material that comes with a Master Moves core training program, and allows them to start right away to do something that they can then apply to their daily life. Let me give you my personal story where a few years ago here in Vancouver, British Columbia, we had a heavy snowfall, and for a whole month, which is rare in Vancouver, I've had to shovel snow 3 times a day to make sure the sidewalks weren't loaded down with snow. I started off on the Master Moves program at that time, just prior to that snowfall, and believe me, I didn't have time for Master Moves during the snowfall, but already I had developed enough of a core in my stomach, my low back, my shoulder blades, that I was able to survive that snow shoveling because I had trained my body to be more evenly balanced in terms of its movements and give me the strength to maintain my balance. That certainly gave me the incentive to see when people were coming in to see me, what they could do on their own, because it didn't take too much instruction for me to figure out how to get that movement happening. Now, we were talking about functional movement. Well, functional movement means something we do when we're generally functioning. Well, in standing, that's an activity that most of us do a lot of the day. And what is the application of doing some exercises on the floor when ultimately we have to stand up and do it in our daily activities in a standing position?